Shalom, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rabakah HaKodash, double honor to the apostles, a great millstone who do well. Peace, love, and blessings to the brothers on the highways and byways, giving all diligence to make it calling in the election sure. And also blessings to the very few sisters out there listening, learning, and believing. I'm that fellow of Kanakla, coming at you once again with another lesson, Lord's will, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai's lessons edifying and also exhorting. This would be a World War III update. As you've been paying attention, Israel struck Iran. And, of course, Iran retaliated in 3 waves of missile, attacks, in response. All right, as you see here, Fox News, Israel braces for more missiles from Iran. It was 3 waves of missiles. So, the fair use. It's from Fox. I'm not making any money off of this Fair Use Act. I'll play a little bit of them, and of course, we're going to get into the Holy Scriptures. We at the end. Okay, this is the war that we have been waiting on. All right, the war to end all wars, World War III, and this is the last, basically, country that was on their plans of overthrowing was Iran. So of course we at the end, and we know once America gets directly involved, all right, in this war and basically attack Iran, Russia will get involved mainly, and of course it's a threat to China as well, because Iran is in a strategic part of the Middle East. Okay, and to overthrow Iran will basically give them control over their whole region. All right, the Persian Gulf, where lots of shipment goes through there. For example, I believe a good percentage of China's energy, oil, and so on and so forth goes through that Gulf. So basically, give them leverage over China if they overthrow Iran. But the point being is that that's where the line will be drawn now. America has been helping Iran shoot a lot of these missiles out of the sky. So America is involved defensively, of course. That's clear. That's no secret. All right. So America's been helping them. And the thing is, Israel cannot go to war against Iran by itself. It's going to need the U.S. help at some point. So the U.S. is going to have to get directly involved. And that's going to drag Russia into this thing. Okay? And that's going to be the end-all, be-all. So I'm play a little bit of this video, get some precepts.
There's a massive amount of fire coming to Tel Aviv right now. Get ready to pull it off the stick. Get off the sticks. All right, let's go. Time to go. Okay. Guys, come on.
Getting through though. I think they said out of 150 missiles, Iran shoots off, I think 10 of them. Some ratio, like 10 of them gets through, 7 of them gets through. Stop all of them.
Now, like many people in Israel, our very own Trey Yangst, who was in that last video you saw, has been in and out of bomb shelters all night. He joins us now with the very latest. That was pretty harrowing for you, Trey. Glad you're okay and the crew's okay. What's the very latest?
Yeah, Sean, thank you. It's been an intense evening here in Israel. The Iranians launching around 150 ballistic missiles into this country in 3 separate waves. That video that you saw there was the first wave. The other waves caused a lot of damage to locations not only here in Tel Aviv, but also in the suburbs. We visited 3 different sites where missile impacts happened or fragments damaged or destroyed buildings. And I can tell you that it was a very sad scene to see. The first location that we got to in a very populated neighborhood of Tel Aviv, they were taking women and children out of this building. You could just see the fear in the eyes of these kids. They didn't know what was going on. They just heard the explosion as their parents were waiting with them in bomb shelters. A lot of damage there, but then we made it to a second site when we were live on Special Report talking with Brett as another missile attack took place. And when you saw the damage at this second site in the suburbs of Tel Aviv, it looks like an entire block was wiped off the map. At that location, Israeli police tell us one woman was killed and at least 20 were wounded. As we were there, rescue workers were digging through the debris, and every once in a while, they would have everyone be quiet, and they would call out, looking for survivors under the rubble. They had a thermal drone overhead to see if there were any people that were still trapped. And then that missile attack took place yet again, and we had to run for shelter going into the basement of an apartment building. And then there were explosions outside so strong they were shaking the street. This is what the Israeli people have been dealing with tonight as the Iranians are directly targeting both military and civilian facilities in this country, sending nearly the entirety of Israel into bomb shelters. And Sean, tonight we are getting reports out of Iran about explosions just east of the Iranian capital of Tehran, an indication the Israelis are once again striking back against the regime, targeting facilities just outside of the Iranian capital.
All right, so you see that? Israel is already striking back. Okay, so again, let's get the precepts. Jeremiah 49:20 said, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he had taken against Edom." Edom, the so-called white people, all right, Europeans, all right, and his purposes that he had purposed against the inhabitants of Teman, wise men of Teman, which we consider the Germans, says, "Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out." So the least of the flock is that little, all right, little Israel. The least of the flock is drawing them out. Okay, is drawing America out into this war. Because here it is, Trump told basically Netanyahu, give him 60 days, all right, for Iran to basically come to the table to an agreement. And on the 61st day, all right, a day right after, they waste no time striking Iran, hitting key positions too, man. Military positions. I believe knocked off some military leaders. All right, so they're not just hitting, just random spots, man. They hitting key spots. All right, basically hurting Iranians, man. All right, so here it is, a respawn. It's gonna be interesting to see how this goes, because I know those Israelis, man, they're something else. All right, Iran is just basically retaliating. But it's going to be very interesting because we know that one prophecy has to come to pass before this war really kicks off like that. So it says, "Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them." All right, it's because that land of Israel is going to be completely wiped out. And so is America. And as the elders always expound on, the land of Israel will be built back up, but America will not be. All right, it says the earth is moved at the noise of their fall. All right, the shaking that once those missiles hit, the earth is going to shake. Because what's going to happen is, again, Russia's going to get involved. And Russia and its allies with their missiles, and then even America's own allies, okay, are going to shoot missiles upon it. All right. The earth is moved the noise of their fall, at the cry of the noise thereof, heard in the Red Sea. Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle and spread his wings over Basra. And ultimately, let's talk about that ship. All right. That UFO. Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle and spread his wings over Basra. Talking about Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Lord is going to send Yahushai. all right, to invade this place. So not only is the missiles going to be hitting this place, also the chariots, the lasers coming from the chariots. It says, and at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pains. Because Scripture said they were afraid but durst fight. Okay, the Lord is stirring up something special for these devils, man. All right, let's see. Let's get that because like I said, it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out, because we always like to acknowledge if World War III is so close, then the prophecy of the chip has to be even closer. All right, so any day now, if this thing continues to keep going, all right, this war continues to go up. You know how it goes. A ceasefire, then it starts back. Then you ceasefire. They agree to a ceasefire. Then somebody breaks it. The whole thing. But here it is, Revelation 13 and 16. This prophecy has to come to pass before that war fully kicks off. All right, so we're excited, but we know that this has to happen first. Revelation 13 and 16, and he called it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that hath the mark or the name of the beast or the name of his name. That mark is the chip, chip technology, right? Which will be made mandatory. You have to have that inserted underneath your skin for you to be able to buy and sell, to make good to purchase things. All right. You see that now with your cell phone. Everybody using some form of tap pay. All right. Well, they want to put that same technology underneath your skin. That'll be a new monetary system, digital, where they'll be able to track you, control you. All right. So, the reason why we say that, yes, we're excited about this, but it's not really going to pop off as it should, because this prophecy has to come to pass. But the good thing about it is, if World War III is this close, it's getting hot, then this prophecy is not too far away. Then this one is even closer. So because we're going to prove that Revelation 14 and 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So when they make this chip mandatory over here in America, and you take it, and when Russia and its allies, and even America's own allies shoot missiles upon America, you're gonna taste that fire and that brimstone. You're gonna be consumed by those missiles. All right, you're gonna be consumed by those missiles. That's the point. So this prophecy, all right, has to come to pass, because those that take the chip will receive the judgment of those missiles. All right. Let me see if I can get something real fast. It was a video I had queued up. See if I can pull it up without revealing too much information. Let's get this one.
Scout takes 26 minutes. A ballistic missile launched from Moscow takes 26 minutes and 40 seconds to get to Washington, D.C. It launches, it has boost phase. Imagine a rocket, that fire coming out the bottom. That's when it's detectable from space. Then it enters mid-course phase, which is going to be 20 minutes, arcing across the globe at 14,000 miles an hour. And then the last phase is called terminal phase. 100 seconds, the nuclear warhead re-enters the atmosphere. Boom. We have 44 interceptors. How are 44 interceptor missiles going to go up against more than 1,000 Russian nuclear weapons? Never mind the fact that each interceptor has a 50% shoot-down rate. A ballistic missile launched from Moscow takes 26 minutes and 40 seconds to get to Washington, D.C. It launches, it has boost phase. Imagine a rocket, that fire coming out the bottom. That's when it's detectable from space. Then it enters mid-course phase, which is going to be 20 minutes, arcing across the globe at
Arcing across the globe, right? That's key.
20 minutes, arcing across.
Pause it just like that, arcing across the globe. We'll close out with this precept. Second address 16. All right, this is second address 16. And I gotta start from the top, read through it kind of quick. It says, "Woe be unto thee, Babylon." I'm talking about America and Asia. "Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand." Okay? "A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back?" And this is that sword, right? That missile. You can't turn that back once that's shot off. It says, "A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues sent onto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood? Or may anyone quench the fire and stubble when it had begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer?" Okay, so this is the metaphor coming into play. Once that arrow is shot off, you can't return it. It says, "The mighty Lord sent the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundation thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled. And the fishes thereof also before the Lord, and before the glory of his power." All right, ultimately the Lord coming back in that ship. All right. Verse 13, "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow." And this is the metaphor that he uses for the missiles. "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and they shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world." See? The globe
At 14. Then it enters mid-course phase, which is going to be 20 minutes, arcing across.
And when the prophet Ezra saw this missile, the only thing he could compare it to was an arrow, a bow and arrow. It looked like a huge arrow being shot off, because obviously that technology of missiles it didn't exist back then, but bow and arrows did. And what proves that, as he says, "His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss." This is key. "When they began to be shot into the ends of the world." Okay?
The globe at 14,000 miles an hour. And then the last phase is called terminal phase. 100 seconds, the nuclear warhead re-enters the atmosphere. Boom.
This is what it means by be shot into the ends of the world. All right? Okay? It says, "Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth." What did she say? It re-enters the atmosphere, right?
seconds, the nuclear warhead re-enters the atmosphere. Boom. We have...
Okay, so, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth, re-entering the atmosphere. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till they consume the foundation of the earth. Okay. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Okay. So there you have it. World War III, but we know that the prophecy of the chip has to come to pass first. So, Lord willing, soon. You got all these protests, popping off tomorrow. There's been threats about a cyber attack. Okay. Another pandemic. Who knows, man? But order out of chaos. Something's going to happen to where this dollar collapses, and the solution, okay, is going to be to chip everyone, to make the chip mandatory. As that process is taking place, which that's the time of Jacob's trouble, as that process is taking place, that war is going to be in full swing. Okay? And before you know it, missiles are going to be shot, and Yahushua is going to come right in the midst of that war with the ships and redeem his elect. This is the time that we've been waiting on. Just keep the faith. Everything that we've been told from our apostles through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahushua speaking through them, is now happening. All right, only 6 more months left of this year. Okay, Lord willing. Shit, we in the kingdom soon, man. Lord willing. So with that, giving all praise to Yahweh